Hello Pisces, Pisces rising and Pisces moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting August 14th, 2017. And a quick reminder for everyone out there, if you ever do want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. It's the same place you would go to get a copy of the Tarot Home Study course as well. Okay, and there's always links in the description bar below the video. So, what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, it's all about Venus, planet of love and harmony, in your 5th house of love and romance and your relationships with your kids. And oh my goodness, Rambo is just totally rubbing up on the tripod. Anyway, we'll just leave that in there. This is what I have to deal with. Come here. Venus in your 5th house of love and romance is actually working this place over very, very nicely. We're attracting new love opportunities and we're actually deepening relationships that are already there. However, on Tuesday, Venus is going to be forming an opposition to Pluto, currently retrograde in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And there may be some issues going on when it comes to jealousy or envy, coming from either a love prospect or a friend regarding the other. You know, and sometimes that happens. If we're seeing somebody new, sometimes they may be that guy or gal that, you know, really competes a bit too hard to get, you know, they don't want to share, or this could be a friend or you who may have harbored romantic feelings, or maybe just doesn't like the amount of attention that's being shared outside of the group. Either way, we're going to have to find a way to fix this. On Thursday, Venus in the same area is going to be forming a square, a brilliant square to Jupiter in your 8th house of intimacy. And there seems to be some kind of breakthrough in that department for all you Pisces people, and a wonderful opportunity to actually start to realize some fantasies and better ways to connect to a special somebody. However, with Venus and Jupiter in a square, it's important to pay attention to where this does not become the be-all, end-all, or something that we kind of just need to do in order to keep the fire burning, okay? Because sometimes Venus and Jupiter create sort of a dependent binge. Either way, though, if you keep it in proper proportion and you do things with moderation, you know what, it can still be a wonderful experience. Ow, God. Alright. For your spiritual advice with your cards, we do have the cat. And the cat does talk about a need to pay attention to where your will is and what you're doing with your own free will. And I know a lot of people don't like having free will. You know, a lot of people don't even believe in it because that's an easier way to absolve themselves of personal responsibility for the person they turned out to be. But the cat is also talking about a need to pay attention to, is your will your own this week? Is your will something that you are doing regardless of, you know, of outside pressures and conditioning? You know, the cat is a very independent creature, and, you know, for the most part, you can train a cat to consider you, but you can't really stop a cat from, you know, doing what the cat wants to do. And, you know, the cat being the independent thinker, the cat being, again, the embodiment of free will, is basically saying, hey, Pisces people out there, where are you maybe still operating under conditioning or pressure from the external? And this week is time to embrace, think it for yourself, and, you know, maybe actually paying attention to what ideas are yours versus what was planted there. For your Earth sector, when it comes to work and finances, we do have the 4 of Cups reversed. There may be a sudden pivot in a work plan or an interview process you are going through at this point in time, and the 4 of Cups reversed can actually show up as a good thing, especially if we're noticing that maybe something's not taking off as fast as it can. However, this can bring some frustrations if we're working on some kind of evaluation, a meeting, or an interview that suddenly requires a bit of a reschedule or a bit of a tune-up. The 4 of Cups reversed is actually working in the interest of breaking you out of a rut, however. Be careful about anything that has been made too solid right now, because we are seeing a lot of opportunities for things to be switched up. However, the 4 of Cups reversed is saying whatever random situation kind of pops in, or whatever random person decides to intervene, is actually doing so in your favor. So don't fight the sudden alteration. Be grateful for it. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we've got the 10 of Wands upright. Something may be getting a bit too hot to handle when it comes to your to a friend or a relative, or possibly somebody we're collaborating with. And this could actually indicate a situation where you're noticing this person is maybe actually coming to you and confessing what they can and cannot do with an arrangement or an agreement that they have made with you already. It doesn't mean they're going to drop it, it doesn't mean they're going to disappoint you or anything along those lines, but I want you to pay attention to how much this person has taken on to him or herself. You know, we've got to pay attention to the fact that, you know, if a person is overly volunteering and overly eager, appreciate the esteem and enthusiasm, but is it good for them or good for the cause for us to take them at their word? They may be just trying a bit too hard. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Three of Swords reversed. And the Three of Swords reversed is kind of interesting because this does talk about a need to pay attention to where we are ignoring a glaring issue or a glaring dysfunction or something disproportionate in our interactions with either somebody close or maybe even, again, an undertaking that we have going on. And the Three of Swords reversed can often show a situation where there may actually be a problem that, you know, you might be choosing to sweep under the rug for somebody else, or maybe we've all mutually agreed not to address it, let's all just try to get along. The problem with the Three of Swords reversed is saying that that problem, that issue, is still actually working its mojo, whether we want to pay attention to it or not, and this week we may actually catch a glimpse of it. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Death card, reversed. I hate this card. Well, I hate the card in the kitty deck. Now, the Death card reversed is talking about an opportunity, you know, to bring things back into balance. I think with the Death card reversed, I often see people doing both, ending things too quickly and not ending things quickly enough. And this may be a situation going on with a crush or a partner, or maybe even a child that you have, where a transition is taking too long, or again, a person is maybe living up in the air and going through a transition every night of the week. And both of those things are paralysis. And we've got to be able to confront the truth in what that is. You know, I pay attention to that also when I'm talking to people. If it seems like a person is going through a transitional phase, and their phase means they have to have a transition every single minute, then that person's not really going anywhere. It's like being in a plane that never lands. You're still up in the air, and you're still in the plane. You may be having to confront an issue with that, either with a child or with a partner or a crush this week, about where either they are running from something or refusing to move on from something else. So that is your horoscope, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.